So I'm trying something a little bit new. Instead of just trying to go out and make a video or include something in a video and kind of plan around my repairs on my building around a video, I'm just doing stuff and I'm recording, and we'll just see how it goes, if this works any better or not or whatever. Consequently, 2 videos kind of started with the same type of material. And so the one several days ago had part of that to do with it. This one has some more to do with that. Some of the same parts were involved in both of those. You're going to see me swap around parts. You're going to see me swap around fans. Just weird stuff. But my overall goal with this video, this is me trying to recreate my NAS. Back there, you can see the covers back on it. And I did get some progress made. I will follow up at the end of me showing you what I did. And yeah, well, just keep that in mind when we get to the outro. So there's going to be a lot of moving parts here. Well, first of all, this is the one that has the Xeon in it. This is a 4-core, 8-thread. We're going to move this, all 4th gen. We're going to move this cooler and this CPU onto the other motherboard. We're also going to put this into this case. This is a Lenovo case that's got way too many adapter cables. But this will probably be my new NAS because I should have some room to put some drives in it, which is both good and bad. But we'll tackle that after we're going to tackle moving everything else. So CPU and the new memory and all that stuff is going to go into the other motherboard, which will go into our old DIY case. Stand by for that. All right, so part of this project, in addition to the 4670 on the B85 motherboard, 600 watt. It's way more than I need this Apivia, but you know, I could swap that out for something else. Doesn't really matter. I'm not even gonna have a video card in here, I don't think. I could probably go with a 450. At this point, I don't think I have a 450, so I'd have to get one. The box here, yeah, that's gonna go right in here. It fits beautifully, doesn't it? Well, actually, okay, what's gonna happen is we're going to have to put together a hard drive cage, but I should be able to use what is here or cut something out if I have to, and then put the rest of this in here. I should be able to hold several drives, set up my NAS. I might even have a DVD. We'll have to see. I didn't mean to rhyme like that, but anyway. What I had to do to get this case, now I found this case on eBay and it was a screaming deal for 20 bucks. And then it did not come with the front panel, all the connectors here. And of course they're all set up for Lenovo. So every single thing I had to do needed an adapter. But hey, we've got it now. So we might as well start putting it together. Try to use it. All right, so we got the B85 in the Lenovo case with a couple of adapters. The USB, turns out that the last pair is just grounded. So all I have to do is just, because those are open connectors, I can just leave them kind of overlapped and they're not interfering with anything. You can see the security boot. We've got a BIOS up. This is looking good. Memory's there. I'm going to go ahead and put the SSD in here and see if we can't boot into Windows. And it appears to be working. So yeah, now the next step is just to, I'm going to get TrueNAS and like I said, configure some drives, get them in this cage in here. And then, yeah, that will be one step. The other step will have to be rerouting all the stuff that I've got in Proxmox off of TrueNAS and just have TrueNAS as my actual server, and then we'll go from there. Proxmox will handle Jellyfin, it'll handle my Home Assistant and all that other good stuff, and I'll just keep TrueNAS separate. I do have TrueNAS on Proxmox right now. It's just a little convoluted, and I want to be able to expand without having to try to remap a bunch of drives. So, and that's, it's kind of weird and tricky, and I want to be able to use all the drives I've got. So there we go. So far, so good. So the next phase of this, and you got to kind of pardon the noise in the background. I am benchmarking and the sound is up over there, but that's okay. The next part of this is we're going to try to build the hard drive cage that we're going to put some drives in for our NAS. I'm not sure how tall this is going to be. We'll find out in a few minutes. But let's start building it and we'll go from there. Okay, in this box is the tasty goodness. We've got some slide rails, we've got the hardware and the metal plates themselves. Oh, and some instructions. I wonder if these are IKEA type instructions or we're actually going to figure out how to do this correctly. I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to start building and I'll come back because I'm running out of desk space and hand space. Anyway, let's give this a shot. I do sort of have this screen that's supposed to be for the front, but seeing as how we already have that type, unless it's part of the structure, I'm probably going to skip this part and just deal with the rest of it. Yeah, so here we go. And just in case anybody was wondering, it's more of a picture. It's not really instructions. Yay, you know, hey, what can I say? It was only like $18. All right, so we're employing some strategery with a couple of very well-placed zip ties. But the cage itself went together fairly easy. I did get these parts backwards a little bit. I had to go back and reinstall them. Yeah, it turns out there's like a stop on one end where the plate is supposed to go. There's a stop to keep the hard drive from going too far, and I had this sort of backwards. So we got that straightened out. I got it pretty well secure in there. Time to put some hard drives in, put the cables back on, and give this thing a test to see if it sees my guinea pig hard drives. They're 80 gig hard drives, but they'll do the trick for right now. I'm just test fitting before I start moving other stuff. But yeah, it doesn't look horrible. There's only one thing I'm worried about. I don't know if this one's going to stick out too far or if I've got to go ahead and clip that off and just have 3 anchor points. That will be a little bit less secure on the bottom, but that's okay. So it looks like I'll be able to get 3 drives in, but the 4th one might take me having to move this cooler to get in. I'll look for one other solution. My big, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much or how little I'd like that, but maybe I'll put the drives in and then put the cage in. I'm not sure. All right, take some pondering. But yeah, at least I can get a couple drives in so we can test things out. So this is the part where my microphone died that I had on the camera. So when I'm explaining here, basically you can see that I've got all 4 of the drives in. I had to put them in first, put the cage in next. I had to tie it down only with a couple of anchor points, but I did get the cover back on. Now the problem with that is it's a huge rat's nest, and even though part of it's hidden, I don't know if we're getting any airflow. And so, yeah, the drives are secure. I put them in first, then put the cage in. But as you can see, there's a lot of cables all over the place, and it's a complete mess in there. So I don't know if I'm really happy with that, and it makes me wonder if there's not enough room anyway. And I'm better off getting just a case that's designed for drives, like a NAS type case. I'm worried about airflow. I'm worried about the rat's nest of all the cables. It doesn't look good. I'm not happy with it, but for testing, maybe I'll go ahead and give it a shot and see what happens, but I think I might change to something else. All right, so the rat's nest does work. I'm going to have to put some fans or something in, and this is not going to be its permanent home. This is an experiment at best. We did get all the drives to show up. That was awfully nice of them. There is a few conflicts. They were, I'm sure they were probably in some kind of raid formation or whatever. And they're not completely in a bad spot. I just have to go back and reformat them and clean them off. I don't think there's probably anything on them because the place that I got this from seems to have done a good job of always cleaning down their data. But yeah, I got 4 1 terabyte drives. They're all 4 in here. I'm gonna clean them all up, install a true NAS, and then that will be my lab experiment for this part. But yeah, it's not going to stay in this case. There's just no way. This Lenovo can be used for something else, and I'll find a more appropriate case for the NAS. So I was able to go ahead and get everything running. All 4 of the drives showed up. I'm installing TrueNAS. I don't think I need to show you guys that part because I don't want to make the rookie mistake of giving away my network information somehow, some way, and I'm probably prone to doing that. That's the build itself. Now, I am, like I mentioned in the video, I am going to look for a different case. Even though it's going to be bigger, it would be more in line or more designed to hold a NAS. I was wanting to try to keep something small, like a 4-bay or a 6-bay would be, but they have an awful lot packed in those small boxes, and I want something relatively low power, but I probably do need a little bit bigger case. So that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, so this case will probably be used with something else. It is going to be my experiment for a little while for 1 terabyte drives with true NAS. I'm going to try to see if I can't get, and you can see it over my shoulder here, that right there. That is where my Jellyfin server is going. It's not currently, but that's where it's going, and it will point to that NAS. So I'll set up my media server that way. And if it goes well, then great. And if it doesn't, you'll see another video of me trying to reconfigure something else. I will do another video when I get that other case and reconfigure, because I've got some 8 terabyte drives. I'm going to get some 4 terabyte drives, and we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's another video for another time. This video, we've got our guinea pig system set up. It is a rat's nest on the inside. I did install a fan, so maybe we'll get a little bit of airflow. I don't know how warm it's going to get in there, but really the only thing that's going on in there is that relatively low power. I'm not going to say low power. The only thing that's really going on in there is the hard drive usage, and as long as I don't overwork those, then it'll probably stay fairly cool. I'm not trying to, like, I don't know. We're not gaming off of that PC, so it shouldn't get too warm, I hope. Anyway, if you got anything out of the video, go ahead and throw a like on it if you don't mind. If you're not already subscribed, please do. That would be wonderful, and I would dearly appreciate it. Don't forget to hit the other socials. But if you don't do any of that stuff, I ask you just do me one favor, and that's be good to each other. Be kind. Smile, wave, hold the door open. Just those little things. Being kind is completely free, and you might be very surprised at what kind of day that makes for somebody. And it'll probably make you feel a little bit better too. Anyway, that is all we have for right now. So until I get myself into something I got no business getting into, and there's a lot because there's stuff over my shoulder over here. I've got a Z390 that I had to repair. That video's coming. Spoiler alert, I did it. Anyway, so yeah, until that time comes, which it will, that's all I got. So I'll see you later.